Loving him meant standing against everything she was taught to believe. The night she chose love, the world stood against her like a storm with 1,000 eyes. Borders were no longer lines on maps but walls in people's hearts, and every step she took toward him felt like walking into fire barefoot. Her name was Aylin, and before she ever held his hand, she had already lost friends, strained blood ties, and learned what it meant to be judged without being known. Love did not arrive gently in her life. It arrived like a question that demanded an answer, and the answer would cost her everything she thought she was. From the very first moment, her love did not ask for permission. It dared the world to stop it. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and love that refuses to bow to hatred, take a moment right now to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support keeps stories like this alive. Aylin grew up in a close-knit coastal town where traditions were worn like armor and expectations were passed down heavier than heirlooms. Her life followed a careful rhythm shaped by culture, faith, and family pride. She was taught early that love was not just a feeling but a responsibility to community and ancestry. Then came Elias, a foreign name carried by a man whose roots lay thousands of miles away, whose language bent differently on the tongue, and whose beliefs did not mirror her own. They met in a place that did not belong to either of them, a city crowded with strangers where backgrounds blurred, and people were more than their labels. What began as curiosity deepened into understanding, and understanding softened into something dangerous and beautiful. She found herself seen not as a symbol of culture, but as a human being with doubts, dreams, and quiet courage. The first cracks appeared slowly. Aylin noticed the way conversations paused when she mentioned his name, how smiles tightened and eyes searched her face for signs of rebellion. The whispers came before the warnings, and the warnings came before the ultimatums. She was told that love like this never ends well, that history had already proven its failure, that she was gambling with her future and the honor of those who raised her. Each word pressed on her chest like a weight, yet every time she imagined walking away, the pain felt sharper than the fear. She was not blind to the differences between them. She simply believed differences did not have to mean division. Still, belief is fragile when it stands alone. Elias faced his own storm. Loving Aylin meant confronting his family's silent expectations and the invisible privilege of never having to explain himself until now. He learned quickly that love does not shield you from prejudice. Sometimes it attracts it. He saw how Aylin absorbed cruelty quietly, how she learned to smile through questions that were really accusations. He wanted to protect her, yet he knew he could not fight a battle rooted in centuries of fear with force alone. Their love became a place of refuge, but also a mirror reflecting how unprepared the world was for their togetherness. Each meeting felt precious, each goodbye heavier than the last. The turning point came when Aylin was asked to choose, not gently but publicly. The choice was framed as concern, but it carried the sharp edge of control. She was reminded of all she would lose, all the doors that would quietly close if she continued down this path. That night, alone with the noise of expectations echoing in her mind, she confronted the truth she had been avoiding. Love had already changed her. It had taught her empathy beyond borders and courage beyond comfort. Walking away would not restore the old version of herself. It would only leave her with regret dressed as obedience. For the first time, she understood that facing the world was not an act of rebellion, but an act of honesty. The days that followed were heavy with consequence. Some friends drifted away, unable to reconcile their affection for her with their fear of difference. Family gatherings grew tense, filled with careful politeness that hid deep disappointment. Aylin grieved these losses quietly, allowing herself to feel the ache without letting it harden her heart. Elias stood beside her, not as a savior, but as a witness to her strength. Together, they learned that love does not erase pain, it teaches you how to carry it without becoming bitter. Slowly, something unexpected began to happen. A few people, watching from a distance, started to soften. Not everyone, not quickly, but enough to remind Aylin that change often begins as a whisper. Time did what arguments never could. As months turned into years, the image of their love shifted from scandal to reality. People saw them build a life grounded in respect, patience, and shared values that ran deeper than tradition alone. They volunteered together, celebrated each other's holidays with sincerity, and showed up consistently, even when applause was absent. Aylin learned that love facing the world is not a single brave moment but a series of quiet choices made daily. Some wounds never fully healed, but they stopped bleeding. The world did not suddenly become kind, but it became less cruel, and sometimes that is how progress looks. Near the end of this journey, when exhaustion threatened to dim her resolve, Aylin looked back and realized how far she had come. She had faced the world and survived it without losing her softness. Her love had not destroyed her roots, it had taught her to grow new ones in shared ground. The courage she once borrowed from love had become her own. And in that realization, there was peace. If this story has touched your heart, if it reminded you of a love you fought for or a fear you overcame, please engage with this video by liking it, sharing it, and letting others feel what you felt. Your interaction helps these stories reach hearts that need them. Before the ending, we have one special request. Please comment below and tell us whether you believe love can truly change the world. In the end, her love faced the world, and the world did not fully surrender, but it learned to step aside. And sometimes, that is enough to let love keep walking forward.